let me just pick up the questions. It was very nice to chant. Okay. Okay, in the last lecture, you mentioned Brahma as a post. What is the status of Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva? They are exalted devatas, right? They are exalted gods, right? But ultimately, it is Brahman, which is the consciousness principle behind all of them, right? So how to differentiate the change of tunes in different verses? Some are 2, some 3, and some are 4 lines. That is how Vivekachudamani is, Jyoti Bhagini, and that is why I have tried to chant it so that you can follow, because I realized that otherwise students will find it difficult. That is why I did that. Some of the verses are different. Some of them don't even have a chandas, right? Those are also there. So how can you say, okay, Jyoti Bhagini, I'm coming to you. You have said that I can't raise my hand. I'll come to you. How can you say Anumana Pramana? The words said in Shruti can induce Shabda Bodha, and I can infer from that. Yes, Anumana. Absolutely. That is also Anumana. Inferring is Anumana. Discipline is Vairagyam as per the subtitle of verse 12, right? And what is dispassion? Vivekaha, right? Yes. Basically, Vivekaha, Vairagyam, and then discipline. So for discipline, we actually, out of the 4 Ds, D stands for Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi, the third one. Okay. So you must remember that. So it is 4 Ds are, I'm going back to that slide. I think there's some confusion here. So basically, this is Vairagyam is dispassion. Okay, I know this is the slide which caused the confusion. But here we are on to the discipline, 3/4 Ds. So Vairagyam is only dispassion, not discipline. Okay. So you must, Vivekaha is discrimination, Vairagyam is dispassion, and we have Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, which is discipline. I hope it's clear now. Okay. Okay. Then we have, how is Ishwar contemplated in Yoga Sutras? I'm not going to talk about Yoga Sutras because it is beyond Advaita Vedanta. Okay. Can you show the slide again of God in 3 variations, please? Okay. This is the one. Viveka is a conviction or belief which is a product of mind. One can't hold conviction for long. Is that why Muhur Muhu is mentioned, but needs continuous approval? Yes, absolutely. Meditation is required. We will see. Nididhyasanam is required to get out of this habit, the regular habitual misconception. Yes, people want to go through the earlier recordings. Please go through. It is on the site, sanskritfromhome.in. The old recordings are there. Sanskritfromhome.org. And you can also find them in the YouTube playlist, which is put up in the Vyoma site. Okay. If level 3 formless is the ultimate, why Adi Shankaracharya made temples and did idol worship? Yes. Adi Shankaracharya, being a compassionate guru, is addressing all the 3 types of bhaktas. That is what we have to understand. A guru is always compassionate and will address everybody. Why are our current acharyas doing so much of puja in the mutt? Only for this reason. When you yourself, you look back at your own spiritual journey, you must have started out with Ishtadevata Bhakti, then must have moved on. So Adi Shankaracharya, being very compassionate, caters to all the segments of bhaktas. Shabda Bodha is not Anumana, it is different. Yes, if you use the interpretation, right, or inference, then you have Anumana coming in. Otherwise, in the case of Vedanta, whatever is Shastra Pramanam, that is just taken. Nothing else is analyzed. But you have to use logic to cross-verify that it is not conflicting with your Pratyaksha, Anumana, etc. We are not going to get into this detail, Amogha sir. Please excuse me because it will be too much for others. So you just take it as Shabda Pramanam means straight Veda Pramanam, and we don't dispute whatever has been told in the Veda. We try and logically understand and analyze and see that there is no conflict with Pratyaksha, Anumana, Anupalabdhi, etc. Yeah, Shabda Bodha, correct. Shabda itself is referring to Vedanta only in the context of Advaita Vedanta. How can we understand the three paths of bhakti mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Karma Marga, Sannyasa Marga? Okay, I would request you to go through the Gita classes, because in the Gita classes that we've done, Upasana Yoga is also a form of Manasa Karma only, and we don't treat Bhakti Yoga as a separate path or anything. It is just in and through all the other yogas, whether it is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, or it is Upasana Yoga. Bhakti is in and through this. This has been explained in detail in several chapters of the Gita. I request you to go through them. An introduction to Vedanta also touches a little bit on that. Is there a continuous evolutionary cycle? The more Vairagya leads to more Viveka. Absolutely. It does. It is a continuous cycle. But unless you are a mumukshu, right? If you have mumukshu or a jignasu, I don't want to confuse others. Jignasu is desire for the knowledge itself. Desire for knowledge along with bhakti will make you a mumukshu ultimately. Okay? A seeker of moksha ultimately. Okay, now I'm going to go to the raised hands. One second. We can't see. One second. Okay. Shanti Lata, please go ahead. I saw you raising your hand earlier also. Please. Go ahead. You wanted to ask something? Tokcham Shanti Lata. Madam, you wanted to speak?
Yeah, please show the last slide again, please.
Which one?
The last one, the withdrawal of both the organs of perception and action. That one, ma'am.
Kindly note down the verse. It will be easier for us to go back. I think it will come under the Jnanendriyani and Karmaendriyani part. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, this one. Thank you.
We are going to do this only later. We are going to do this in the next class only.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Swati, please go ahead.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to know what is the connection between Ishvara and Devata. As in, I understand that Brahman is Nirguna and this is the Saguna Rupa. But when you talk about Devata, like there are multiple Devatas, and are these Devatas a creation of, because we say Vedavyasa had, used the formed version in the form of Puranas to give to the normal people who are not able to grasp the Brahman aspect. So, is it that it is a creation of these devatas, or that they are already existent and they just revealed themselves in that particular form, because all these devatas have particular symbology, iconography and all. So how is it that these multiple forms of devatas are present, and like they have to be worshipped in the same form and in the same way in a particular paddhati?
Yeah.
How is that? I
Okay.
cannot get the connection between Ishvara, like this Saguna, Nirguna Ishvara, and the Devata. And also, what I understand is that Brahman is static; it is just a mere witness. But the Devatas are dynamic and they have powers.
Correct.
That is what is my understanding. So, what is the how and what is the connection between the
I'll speak.
that one?
Good question. I think I've covered this in Introduction to Vedanta, but I will speak about it. See, we are aware of Manushya Loka, and we are aware of animals, we are aware of plants, all the millions of species we are aware of. Now, there are 6 other upper lokas and some more lower lokas, which we are not aware about through Pratyaksha Pramana. The only way to know is, as the other gentleman asked, Shastra Pramanam, which is, Shabda Bodha or Shastra Pramanam, through which we come to know that there are so many lokas, there are so many, kinds of, living beings. They are all living beings. They're all jivas. Okay. So now, other than Brahman, right, there are jivas and then there is a Paramatma. Now, when it comes to Jivatma and Paramatma, the Paramatma is a samashti concept, which I've discussed in Introduction to Vedanta. Please go through it. The samashti Paramatma is what we refer to as Ishvara, right, with the Karana Prapancha. So when we are associating with the Karana Prapancha, we call that Supreme Lord being as Ishvara. We'll come to it. All the others are jivas only. Only thing is, there are lots of living beings in between Manushya and all this Brahmaji, right? Brahmaji Paryantam we saw. In between, there are lots and lots of, there are Yakshas, there are Devatas, there are Adityas, there are Vasu, so many things are there, so many types. Now, each one of them, depending on the law of karma, the same law of karma operates. They are born as any of these devatas. The difference is they have a much longer lifetime. They enjoy a much better body and they don't have jara, mrityu and all. What does that mean? This is what we see in the Shastras. They can appear and they disappear as soon as the punya is over. There is no degradation, degeneration, etc. for those exalted beings. So now let's not mix the Puranas with this. So this is what the Shastra, the Veda Purva Bhaga and Veda Anta Bhaga talks about. And it also says that Agni is a Devata who is a messenger or a courier who takes whatever we do in yagas, etc. to the respective Devatas. So to answer your question in simple one line, all these Devatas are Jivas only. They all have different powers, different life based on the law of karma. Ishvara, when we say to a normal person, an Ishvara is just some god named. But for a person who's gone through Vedanta, Ishvara is nothing but the samashti, the prapancha, the karana prapancha, the sukshma prapancha, stula prapancha put together, and the chidabhasa that is behind it. All of them put together is the final Ishvara. So we saw about Virat Rupa, Hiranyagarbha Rupa, Antaryami. All of these put together is Ishvara. Please go and revise the section on Jiva Ishvara Aikyam in Introduction to Vedanta. I hope I answered it briefly.
Yes, ma'am, I got it. I have one more, this one. Now, when we have Sukshma Sharira, we have so many different, types of this one. But in Sukshma Prapancha, what does it constitute? And in Sukshma Sharira, we have what is the Ahankara. Now, during Srishti, Ishvara also has come from Maya, and even the Jiva also has come from that. Now, why is it
There
that
is no
Ishvara has no
Ishvara has come. There's no Ishvara has come.
during Srishti, like from
No,
the
no, no.
Maya
That's
or
what
the
I'm trying
Karana
to tell
Prapancha?
you. No, no. Karana Prapancha is synonymous with Maya, synonymous with Ishvara. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Maya
Don't
and
ever
Ishvara are
get
the same
mixed.
thing.
Correct. So that's
Okay.
why I'm requesting you to go through that full thing, revise it, because all
Yeah,
these.
I have seen that, but I did not get it very
Please,
clearly
you will
because
go through it
then
again and again. In Vivekachudamani also, we will go through it. So don't worry at all. We will get clarified with repeated
okay.
Shravana.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you. Satish?
Hello. Good evening, madam. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah. My questions, I don't know whether it is dumb or I'm ignorant. Just
No
trying.
problem. Go ahead.
The classes have been going very good, extremely satisfied and happy. You are talking about self-knowledge, self-realization, and it is trying to answer the questions, what am I, who am I, right? That questions get answered as we go through this. In that journey, and as you said, it takes many janmas sometimes. Is it also that keeps coming to my mind along with for this self-realization and self-knowledge? Is it also necessary to know where am I in this journey? Because it takes many janmas. Will Atma or this thing get to know where am I in this journey? How long it may take or something? That is one question that I have. And another question is, another follow-up question is there, or a related question. If anyone has attained moksha, does that person get to know that they have attained moksha, or is it only the Atma that gets to know that it has attained moksha? These two are the questions. So I don't know whether I'm ignorant or I'm asking.
If any of you remember my slide on FIR reduction, okay, FIR standing for frequency of emotional impact, I intensity, and R recovery period after an emotional impact. This is FIR reduction, and triple C increase, right? Calmness, confidence, and cheerfulness increase. These are the 6 parameters. I really like this because Swamiji has made it so measurable. These are the 6 parameters that you would reflect on during your journey. And you would know the answer as to whether you have attained moksha or not. Attained within double quotes. So this is all in it. So over the years, from where you started to where you are, how are you as a person? It's a very private, personal journey. But when you see a Mahatma, you can make out, because he's a role model kind, and you see him at close quarters, you can make out that the way he responds to situations, right? You can make out that he is a jnani, but he's not going to tell you. He's going to assess himself in private. It's a very private journey, but these parameters are very key parameters for us to know that.
One more question is, if if anyone has attained moksha, that means during a lifetime only they get to know that they have attained moksha. Is it the person?
They will know.
Okay.
They will know internally. There is no need, and others will come to know because the person's behavior will be like, yoga rudaha. They will make out. Krishna also talks about it, right? So it's not a problem. They will find out. Others will find out.
Okay. And my last question is, if everything is impermanent, anitya, is moksha also impermanent?
Moksha is not impermanent. Moksha is what? It's the attainment of liberation. And what is liberation ultimately? Take this question, write it down somewhere, and look at it after 2-3 years. Okay, the question that you just asked me, you will get an answer to this. What is impermanent? The word moksha is impermanent. The state that you are Brahman is always permanent, right? So what does the question mean, and what answer are you getting? Just go back after 2-3 years and see after you go on this journey. Okay. Yeah. Good. So I think some more questions are there. Yeah. Okay, Manda Adhikari Ishtadevata. Can't imagine labeling Tyagaraja as Manda Adhikari. That's fine. Manda Adhikari is used for Ishtadevata Bhakti because they are only looking at one. But why would Tyagaraja come under that? We think that Tyagaraja is Eka Ishtadevata Bhakta. How do you know that? Maybe his expression has been Ishtadevata Bhakta, but he is one of the greatest souls who's attained moksha, right? So they have different ways of attaining moksha. Some of his kritis, when you see, you realize that he is a realized soul, right? Uttama Adhikara text on screen says Nirvana Ishvara. I have to correct it. It should be Nirguna Brahman. Correct. Nirguna Ishvara. Okay. Want to clarify? Yeah. Saguna Brahma is Ishvara. Correct. Krishna Prasad ji. Saguna Brahma is Ishvara. It must have been a typo. Nirguna Brahman. I will check that. Will more on self-enquiry be covered later? Yes, as part of the Vivekachudamani course, we will. Okay. So if God is everywhere and if we can see God everywhere, then can we develop attachment towards everywhere? Now, remember the Vishwarupa Ishvara described by Arjuna. Arjuna sees a very, very very, very difficult kind of form where people are rushing into the agni of the mouth, etc. Right? So, would you get attachment or would you get detachment or would you be neutral? You will be dispassionate. Think about this. Okay? When you see God everywhere, you see the good and the bad, right? Is the status of Satchidananda same as the status of moksha? We'll come to it, right? Because the question doesn't really make sense. And Brahman is Satchidananda Brahman. So when we are talking about Devata, are they positions? Yes. Indra position can be taken by human too. Yes. Ma'am, who's the Swamiji you are referring to? The very second or third slide where I talk about Swami Paramarthananda. I pray to Swami Paramarthananda. He is my Guru. So what are the 6 steps you said? 3 C's. FIR reduction. Again, it's there in the introduction to Vedanta. Frequency, intensity, and recovery period after an emotional impact goes down. Triple C is calmness, confidence, and cheerfulness go up as you go through the spiritual journey. Right? So we will see enough about FIR and 3 C's as we go along. Okay? So we'll stop here. And just one last time, I'm going to see if anybody else I need to. Padmanabhan, you want to ask something?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Thanks for your nice session. I just want to confirm this Pramanam, Anumanam, Pratyaksham, Swadharma, and Atma. So there's a link between all these things. And I just want to ensure that moksha is a state of consciousness which has been progressed or evolved by the soul, irrespective of the birth or what you are presently.
I would request you to just let go of this. If you want, write down somewhere. Okay. And we will revisit this question after we complete Vivekachudamani course. Okay. And my request to many of you is, I know several of you would come from science and engineering background. So don't put too much of your mind into categorizing things, factoring things, etc. When the need arises, I am myself using a slide and I'm doing it. So this Pratyaksha, Anumana and all, don't get into details more than this because at this stage it is not required. Okay. So you write down your question on moksha and whatever you said. You can revisit this at the end of the Vivekachudamani classes and we will definitely take it up. Please remind me.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Muthu Krishnan, please go ahead.
Hello, namaste, madam. Can I say Ramana Maharishi has attained moksha?
He's a jnani. People know him as a jnani, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Kishore Acharya ji, go ahead.
Ketya?
Kishore Acharya ji.
She said yes. And has Ramana Maharishi
Yes. Could you hear me? This
Yes,
is
yes.
Acharya. Okay, my question is that we have Ishvara and
Hmm.
also we have the Shiva, the Lord Shiva, then Vishnu and Brahma. Are they the Ishvara are they at the different way the devotees look at the same Ishvara?
See, Ishvara as a general term can be used for any god, okay? If you are a Advaita Vedanta student and you're using Tattva Bodha and all these expressions to be accurate about the term, then Ishvara refers to Maya Sahitam Brahman.
Yes, I admit that.
That's all. Otherwise, you can use the word, feel free to use the word loosely. When you're speaking to your friends, your relatives in the house, your children who don't understand all this, you can use Ishvara, let Ishvara bless you. I use it every day 100 times.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying then how do we correlate this Maya Shahita Brahman or the Ishvara with the Lord Brahma, with Vishnu, and with the Maheshwara?
They are all, as per Advaita Vedanta, all of them are exalted forms of Jiva, which become Devatas, gods. They are different levels of gods.
So
Brahmaji himself.
I see. So even I mean, I can understand the other, that these three are the most important one. That's why I was trying to say, is it the different form of Ishwaras for the...
All of them. In Advaita Vedanta Parampara, all of them are, whether it is Brahmaji, whether it is Vishnu, Shiva, all of them are just expressions of Ishvara in different Devata forms. And they're all, and then if you see all the avatars, they are further, like they take different forms. That's all.
I see. Yeah, because eventually there is nothing else except the Brahman.
Okay. Maya Sahitam Brahman is Ishvara. That is for us. In our local parlance, when I talk, I use Ishvara for just God because, see, we cannot confuse others, right? So it's important for us to understand and discern the difference in our mind. That's all.
I see.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think we've covered everybody. So we'll stop here and we will take up, our next week I will start Dhammaha. Okay. I'm just wanting to tell you upfront that I think I'm going slow because I need to spend this time, which means the classes are going to extend to at least 30 plus, but it's okay. Anyway, there are recordings. You can always catch up. So I just thought I should inform you. Thank you so much. Dhanyavadaha. We will meet next week.